Paul, the team review. Newcastle 2, Southampton 2. It's a point, but this is still awful, isn't it?
That's the worst first half I've seen I've seen God knows how long. That was absolutely abysmal. Second half wasn't much better, and quite honestly, we didn't deserve nothing from the game. How we got a point is amazing, really, but to score in the 90th minute, you think it's over, and then all of a sudden they go down the other end and give a penalty away, which it was a penalty, it was right behind it. VAR confirmed it. We shouldn't be in that position to concede penalties. We're so far back.
Exactly. I mean, that's out of the 3 games, that's 3 penalties conceded so far this season. It sounds like our defenders are absolutely brain dead. I mean, what's Lascelles doing right in the end?
Well, the thing is, you watch him through the whole game, he should be like 5 to 10 yards further up the pitch, but he's got his defenders sitting deep. Now, he's the captain, he controls that defensive line, so why are we sitting 10, 15 yards further back than we should be? And that's what led to the penalty. Lovely 1-2 from Southampton, but then when it comes to the crunch, we shouldn't be there, we should be further up the pitch, and that goal doesn't happen. But again, we're in a position where we concede penalties. It's absolute garbage.
Certainly is. I mean, 5 at the back again. Again, players in that lineup. Miggy, again, I didn't think he was that good. I thought Sean Longstaff was abysmal today. I didn't think Murphy had another good game as well.
Look, at the end of the day, we know the 5 doesn't work. We can all see it, but our manager can't for some stupid reason, and he's never going to change. I mean, God help us against Man United. It's fear that strikes me when I think of Man United away, and then Leeds at home. I mean, where are we getting the points? Where are we going to get the wins? I mean, it's just embarrassing at the minute. The whole thing was embarrassing today, and nobody can say that we deserved anything from the game. We're lucky to get a point.
How do you think Bruce would have felt having them chance towards him? Do you think it's going to really get right onto him?
Well, that's the loudest I've heard so far against Steve Bruce, and no doubt he would have heard that today because it was all around the ground. But you know what he's like. He's so arrogant, he'll just brush it off and just get on with it, really. But he's got to go. He's got to go. We can't keep playing like this.
No, absolutely not. And if we go to Man United, you could be looking at double figures from them if we simply do not turn up.
Well, do you expect anything less? Because I'm expecting a hiding. I think every game now we expect to lose. There's no hope. You don't go to the game positive anymore. It's just thinking, right, maybe we can sneak something, but where the positivity's gone, there's none, and that's how it's going to be moving forward.
Certainly as well. You'll be doing your review when you get back?
I will be at some point, yeah. Whether I go back and calm down first before I do it, I don't know, but I'm sure the Horseman Show is going to be quite interesting again on Monday.
I'm sure will be. Cheers, mate. Lawrence, the Geordie View, Newcastle 2, Southampton 2. It's a point, but it's still garbage at this moment of time, isn't it?
First half, absolutely terrible. The only good thing is that we're finally chanting against Steve Bruce. I mean, I get it. Obviously, we would have done it last year if we were allowed in the ground and performing like that. But at least now we can finally get with frustrations at him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he sacked by Christmas or he just walks. I mean, if he had any dignity, he would have walked last season. But I'm glad we're finally chanting against him. We're chanting against Pardew. It worked. I mean, I know it was made to go to Crystal Palace, but maybe we had a bit of a role in that. We're chanting against Steve McLaren. Fair enough, we're in a probably worse position than now, but that worked.
Certainly did. I mean, the first half, as you mentioned, it was one of the worst halves I've ever seen in a game of football. But second half wasn't really much better. But still, the Southampton equaliser, it's preventable.
Well, yes, you need to start the ball in the box, and I'll probably want to watch it back, but that's just terrible defending.
Certainly is. What about the penalty? Was it a penalty?
It was. I've seen the replay from my seat, and it looks... Lascelles catches Armstrong. The only way it could have been any worse is if Armstrong actually took the pen and scored it. Would never have heard the end of it.
Possibly, I had a feeling it was going to be Prowse going to step up and take it. I mean, he's always brilliant on set piece as well. It's international break. Do you think we'll sign anyone throughout this transfer window, or do you think that's it, just Willock?
Maybe just like a loan deal, like deadline day. I mean, we've got to get players out the squad, to be honest. We've got 4 keepers, I mean, because we've had Darlow and Dubravka having problems. To be fair, Woodman's actually done well, I think. Willock actually has to be registered, so that takes up another space.
it's all doom and gloom at this moment of time.
Thing is, what we should do is maybe look to leave 1 or 2 players out the squad, including one of the keepers. Don't want to be harsh on them, but that's the way it has to be. It's a 25-man squad, and that's the rules, unfortunately.
That is true. Well, Man United, if we certainly play like that, how we did the day, we're going to get an absolute twonking down there. Could be double figures if we're not careful. I mean, Ronaldo on his way back, but you look at the other players. You've got Greenwood, who's really starting to pick up. You've got Pogba, I think, he's starting to really pick up as well. You've got Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, I mean, them kind of players will absolutely rip us a new one if we are not focused against Man United after the international break.
Absolutely, and you know what, let's just change the formation. 4-2-3-1, 5-2-2 worked at the end of last season, but I think it's run its course. Let's go back to a 4-2-3-1. I mean, we barely played it at all last season, but it worked for a while in the 2019-20 season. Why not try it again?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, Shorty, to Derby TV, Newcastle 2, Southampton 2. It's a point, but it's still absolute garbage, isn't it?
Absolute garbage, because we've got a garbage manager. The squad's not good enough, and his all tactics are useless. Like the players today, I mean, we were expecting 5 at the back, and for us to be also negative. I was negative going into the game. I said Southampton would win 3-1, and I think Southampton, to be fair, have probably been robbed of 2 points. I think we are daft for giving away 2 points because we scored in the 90th minute where Callum Wilson got the first one, then St. Maximin obviously scored the winner, and you think we should hold it out. But because we're so deep and we're doing nothing in the game, and we're so defensively deep, and listen, it's frustrating. And obviously Southampton have got a penalty. I haven't seen it back, but yous are all saying it's a penalty.
Yeah, I've seen the penalty. I've seen it on the replay. I could see the monitor, the big screen from where I was sitting, and Lascelles, he takes out Armstrong. I mean, why is he doing that? He's the captain of this club, and he's doing stupid things like that.
Well, it's 3-3 now. Conceding the penalties, just switching off. And let's be fair, on the actual balance of the game, I think Southampton had the better chances, especially in that first half. There could have been 3 or 4 up all over the place. Loads of anti-Bruce chance, and I think it's at the end of the day, it is what it is, because Bruce should have walked a long time ago. If he had any dignity about him, he should just go now, because it's 1 point picked up out of 3 games. And if you think of the fixtures that we've had, we should probably be sitting now on 7 points, if I'm being brutally honest. I think West Ham, we could easily have killed them off in the second half if we were a bit more positive. Villa, there was chances for in the game, we didn't take them. Too many mistakes getting made. Then the day that we could have got 3 points, but no. Southampton, to the credit, played well. And I'm just disappointed that we couldn't see out the game. But I think Southampton would be disappointed that they didn't, get the 3 points. But I think in the end they'll probably take a point, given how far they've had to travel.
That is true. Well, we had the Bruce chance. How do you think he's going to take them, Bruce?
He'll just come out at the end and say, "Oh, well, what a fantastic game it was. All this bullshit. Oh, we've managed to get a point. We'll build on it. Oh, this, that, and the other." It's just the same old typical tripe that's going to come out his gob. And at the end of the day, he's just standing there, just tacticless. He's got nothing about him. He's tactically inept. He's out his depth completely, and he just shouldn't be here. I just think at the end of the day, it's all down to Mike Ashley and the own, and the board just being so spineless and just not, heeding the warnings of what's to come. And I feel like now we need to, bring some players through the door. Whether it's going to be a permanent or a loan deal, I think it's going to be a loan deal. Players look unfit.
Certainly do. Well, it's Man United after the international break, and if we play like that, how we did the day, it wouldn't surprise me if that game ended up in double figures there for Manchester United.
It could be a Premier League record, couldn't it? In terms of goals scored, Ronaldo's going to have a field day. He had defending 5 at the back. I think we're going to probably go 9 at the back here against Man United, playing the way we play. They're going to have a field day. Pogba, they've got the likes of Bruno Fernandes. Listen, I think it's going to be a long game. It'll be a long. Is it a night-time game? I can't remember when it was.
Still 3 o'clock, but I think it'll probably change.
But we've still got Leeds to come up as well. Like, where are we getting these points from? You know what I mean? We should at least be sat on 6 or 7 points, and we're not. One point, and he's going to come out of the day and say, we've got something. Yes, but you've got to be tactically better. When you go 2-1 up in the 90th minute, when you've got 3 minutes to go, you've got to see it out better. I've said to you in the group chat, the whole defence it's shocking. It's just getting worse under Steve Bruce. But I do believe a better manager with a better tactical nous will get the best out of this squad.
Yeah, I mean, substitution-wise, we know Joe Linton come on. Hopefully Wilson is not injured, but I should have got Fraser on early in the second half.
I don't know what Callum Wilson said. He's probably requested maybe an hour to play. I'm devastated because he's just scored a very good headed goal, and we're on the up. But then he takes off Joe Willock. I don't know what he said to Steve Bruce. He's probably requested to play maybe 70 plus minutes. And then we're losing over better players. And yeah, like, why was Ryan Fraser not on from the start? He played quite well against Burnley, created opportunities. He's got a bit of pace about him. He's got a bit of something. Whereas the rest weren't doing that in the first half, and I just feel like we're always playing catch-up. He brought Joe Linton on, he offers absolutely nothing. And then, like I say, Ryan Fraser, it's too late, man, you know what I mean? We're trying to chase a winner, which we do get, but again, we'll go back into our shells, and that's our problem. And instead of walking away with a 2-1, we've walked away with a 2-2 draw.
Exactly, well then, cheers, man.
Right, bro.
Archer, Newcastle 2, Southampton 2. It's a point, but it's still utter garbage, isn't it?
It is. A point's not good enough. I wouldn't mind if we got the win, but that performance was absolutely shit. Literally, you could literally hear the fans chanting, "Bruce, Bruce, out, out!"
How do you think Bruce would have took that the day, considering it came nearly all the way around the ground? It was definitely a lot where I was sitting in my seat the day.
It was just awful, to be fair. Like, our defence is absolutely crap. The first half, Southampton was just like running riot, and literally, Southampton could have been like maybe 2-0, 3-0 up first half. The way they were performing, but literally, we need to do something, because literally, what are we going to do in the next? What we're going to do in the transfer window? Like, we need. Obviously, we're not going to buy any more players because we've already got Joe Willock. We need at least get maybe a few loan players in.
The freeze, if there's any decent ones available.
Rondon, he'll score the goals for her.
Doesn't look like he'll come out, unfortunately. Was it a penalty for Southampton? I think it was.
It was. I didn't really see, because obviously I was sitting in the Gallagher end, but when I looked at it, when I checked on the board, it seems like it was going to go to VAR, and the ref said it's a penalty.
I knew when Paul Tierney was going to check the monitor, he was going to blow for it. Aye, well, we've got Manchester United after the international break. Play anywhere like that, how we did the day, and you could be looking at double figures there for Man United. Ronaldo on his way back. You've got Greenwood, who's really stepping up his game now. Bruno Fernandes. I mean, they're going to have a field day against our defence if we simply do not turn up at all.
Man United's going to be... and then Man U's going to just tear us apart in a couple of weeks' time, because, like you said, the players they've got in, they've got Greenwood, they've Sancho, they've got Cristiano Ronaldo coming in, Bruno Fernandes, and yeah, they're just going to tear us apart. Even Rashford, but like, I think it's going to be maybe Old Trafford will be about 3-4-0 for Man United.
Oh, probably will be if.
Literally, Bruce needs to get the sack. Like, literally, this is the right time for Steve, for the board and Mike Ashley and Lee Charney to sit down and decide. Steve Bruce needs to go. Three games, 2 defeats and a draw is a joke.
Not just that. Out of the 3 league games, we've conceded a penalty every single one of them.
And now I have it's an absolute joke. Like, even in the League Cup, we played absolutely crap.
Well, we're the better team, but we're barely created out there. That was the thing. And you know, when it went to penalties, you knew what was going to happen. Anyway, well, it's not looking good so far this season, is it?
No, it's definitely not. Keep playing like this, we are getting absolutely FUCK. We're absolutely shocking. Steve Bruce, look into my eyes. I'm taking this shirt off.
Oh, God.
You need to be absolutely get out of this club. No!
All right, then, gentlemen.